My fifth and final job in the golf industry, I was just coming off one of the most dreadful firing in my life from Outdoor Resort. And the beating from the EEOC was some times and times worse than the racism we were dealing with there. The EEOC just ate us apart, calling us stupid for working on golf courses or going to school for golf, and there ain't no black golf courses. Or we were so stupid we don't even know who we were working for. And remind you, I was the department head and I built the entire place. But it's, oh, you so stupid you don't even know who you were working for. Oh, you only worked there 8 months. They admit that it was discrimination, but you didn't give them time to correct it. I started working at that place in 1999, and now this was 2004. They said I only worked there 8 months. The Florida Department of Unemployment, they came with the same prognosis. You only worked there 8 months. I gave them all my income tax records, all my pay stub. They say, oh, Dad, you can get that from anywhere. I said, but I pay taxes. They said, that don't mean nothing. You can get that from anywhere. So that's what I was going through. So I decided you're never going to get paid what a white man make in golf. You're never going to get paid what an illegal immigrant make in golf without a degree. They hate blacks in golf, especially educated blacks. So I know I was going to have to take a different direction. So I decided I would just be a regular crew member. So I applied for a job. I seen it in the paper at the old place I used to work, where I was assistant and we were number one for 3 years in a row. You know, number two in the nation with the CCA family. So I applied for that job as a spray tech, right? The guy interviewed me and he say, if you can start tomorrow, our spray man right now is Mark, but he temporary from Ohio State University. But he going back to college next week. And I say, sir, you don't mind, I ain't worked in a year. I ain't had no income for a year. It been very stressful. Just let me get 2 weeks. 2 weeks rest, and I'm gonna make you look good. All right? He said, but I think it best if you let Mark show you around. I say, sir, I ain't trying to be funny, and ain't damn bitch on this planet. When it comes to a golf course, can show me any goddamn thing. I said, now we can take it or leave it right now. I say, hell, I ain't got started yet, and you can fire me. Because that $11 you started me with, that don't mean shit to me, man. Just let me get 2 weeks, and I'm going to be the biggest benefit in your life you ever saw. All your worries is over. He said, well, I see just another talker, right? So, I got rest for 2 weeks. I come back. He said, who is you? I say, why? They told me when you punch your card to contact Brenda in HR. He said, I went to ask Brenda later, hey, why they wanted to know when that black guy punched your card? Brenda said the membership just went up $5,000 when he punched your card. And he asked Brenda, who is the guy? He said. And she said, I don't know who he is, but they talk highly of him. So I get back, he say, Just take a golf cart and ride around for a week and see what everybody doing. And I said, well, which spray tank I'm going to use, right? So both of them. Mark going back to college, right? I calibrated both spray tanks, 4.5 to 5 mile speed and, and all that good stuff. I got them to each spray tank can spray 50 gallons an acre. So I got that straight, right? This place was so big that I could spray and nobody see me. Like in the morning, I jump on 1, 2, and 3. Nobody know what I'm doing. Then I leave 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I go to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I finish the whole back 9. Nobody see me. Then the next day, I finish the front 9. I done sprayed the whole place wall to wall. Nobody know. All of a sudden, all the members talking. Hey, where all the weeds go? Hey, did they got new people to work here? And everybody said, no, it's just that David guy. They said, well, hell, y'all might as well fire the whole goddamn crew and just keep this guy. He done did all this in 1 month. So then the mechanic, who was slick, they start him with $20 with zero experience and start me with 11. Mac didn't even start me with that. Mac just started me with 10. I don't remember, but he said, man, who is you? I said, why? Mike said that they told him, don't give you no orders, don't tell you what to do, let you do what you want to do. Mike trying to figure out who you are. I said, well, I used to work on a long time ago. He said, well, Mike worried. I said, worried about what? Mike think they hired you to take his job, right? Mike called me in the office, right? And he said, man, you come to take my job? I said, no, not really, bro. That's far-fetched. He said, why? He said, that don't mean nothing. They talk highly of you. I say, bro, look here. No way in hell they finna put me over the job. I said, I done been here before, sir. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. He said, well, who is you? They told me don't tell you to do nothing, just let you do what you want to do. He said, that ain't never happened before. I said, well, sir, in 2 more months, come back and talk with me. But right now, let me do what I do, right? And I did what I do. And in 3 months, that man shook my hand. He said, man, I don't know who you is, but everybody talk highly of you. He said, but what I just saw in these 3 months, I've been doing this type of job for 30 years, son. I have never met anyone like you in my life. He said, if you not the best, you got them knocking on the best door. I appreciate you working for me. It's an honor from what I heard about you, sir. And thanks for coming, saving me. I never felt so good in my life. I never rode across a golf course and thought I couldn't imagine it would ever look like this. He said, I hate to see what happened in 2 or 3 years. I said, you will, sir. You will. And that's how I got my final job in the golf industry. By just trying to be a regular crew member. And because I know I was never going to make over, not even near what a golf course superintendent should make. I wasn't even making what an illegal immigrant made on the average golf course. The average illegal immigrant was making high paid $14 to $17 an hour. Some of them just regular crew member. I was assistant. And you will see on every job, when I go to make money, it be 1 to 2 weeks I'm fired. Because they always give you lots of money right before they fire you, and that blocked them from being getting a discrimination lawsuit. That's why they all do it. You know, you making $8. Next thing you know, you making $16 to $24, but you never get that paycheck. But it in payroll that you were making 16 to 24. Boom, they gonna kill in the lawsuit just about. But anyway, this was my final job, and next I'll be talking about the changes I made within 3 months of every job. Thank you, and God bless.